Meural sent us this digital picture frame, and it's now our favorite picture frame. We have a couple others, but this one just looks better. And this is the only one we'd actually be willing to put in our living room because it doesn't look like a TV or a monitor. It has this kind of matte finish to it that just doesn't look shiny. It looks more like a canvas. And actually everything looks good in it, from photos to more traditional types of art that you can get through a subscription that Meural provides. But of course you can load your own pictures in through a web browser or a phone. It looks fantastic. It can be hung horizontally or vertically. It can show still photos or videos. I think the video feature is really cool because I made some cinemagraphs, so I took my still images and actually made them moving a little bit. You can choose from white, black, or natural wood frames like this one, and it looks best directly on. You can see from the side it loses some brightness. It's our favorite digital picture frame, but it's definitely not perfect. First, it's a 16:9 ratio, whereas most cameras are either 3:4 or 4:5. So you end up cropping the sides on vertical pictures or the top and bottom on horizontal pictures. It's an aspect ratio photographers rarely ever work with. Check out our video on aspect ratios for some tips on shooting properly for unusual formats like this. It's also only 1080, whereas our monitors and TVs and even our phones now are 4K or something at least higher than 1080, so it's fairly low resolution. I do wish it were a little sharper, but nobody's complained about it. It still looks good. It looks just fine. And while it might fail at really close inspection, nobody's complained. Another thing that gives away the fact that it's a digital picture frame is, of course, it needs some power. And this is not a paintable cable, and they don't seem to sell a paintable cable, but we taped it flat to the wall and it looks okay. You could get an electrician to install it behind the frame, or you could just run it through the wall. You could put a plant in front of it too. But for now, I don't think it looks too bad. Nope, it hasn't bothered anybody. Watch this user interface. Look, you can see we found the hand-waving user interface to be frustrating. It doesn't work very well, and even the app itself can be a little difficult to choose pictures. All right, here's where I'm going to lose a bunch of you. This frame with the natural wood is $700. The white and black frames are $600. And that's a lot. It's a 27-inch HD monitor, basically, and that will run you about $150. So what happens every time we review a digital picture frame is people are like, oh, I could just build it with an Arduino and da-da-da. But that's actually way harder than you think. And I talked to a lot of people who said they were going to do this to see how many actually done it, and basically nobody did. The custom framing itself is expensive and hard, especially building a frame around a monitor. I don't know anybody who's been able to recreate a sort of matte finish monitor like this. You'd have to make it so it automatically adjusts to the different brightness levels in your room and create software that will allow you to load images and control it remotely, especially over the web. And when you factor in all that engineering, I mean, there's a reason that it's kind of an expensive product. You could also pick one up for a family member and load pictures and videos on it remotely. So, for example, your grandmother could see what you and your family were up to. If you have $600 or $700, I know that's a lot, but if you have it, I think it's a wise investment for your photography. Oh look, it just changed pictures. You can see this is another example of a cinemagraph. I added a little movement to the water here. Just makes it not something you'd immediately notice, but it makes it a little more lively than a standard still photo. If you have follow-up questions, write a comment down below and I'll try to get back to you. Subscribe to see more photography-related product reviews, as well as actual photography tutorials and our live photo reviews every Thursday at 5 o'clock. Give me a like. Thanks.